Whether you're selling your home or looking for your next investment property, negotiation is part of the process. What are some key items to consider when negotiating the price for either buying or selling? That's what we're digging into today. Let's go. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Bryn with Hearthstone Real Estate here in Eugene, Oregon. On this channel, I talk all about the Eugene area and give you some real estate tips along the way. Negotiating a house price can feel like a daunting task, especially for first-time homebuyers and sellers. Today, we're going to break down some key insights to help you with your approach. Let's discuss the factors that can influence where to start the negotiation process with submitting an offer. Do you go over asking or do you try and get a bargain out of the gate? Number 1, market conditions. One of the key factors that can significantly impact your ability to negotiate the price of a house is the current state of the real estate market. It's like the backdrop against which all negotiations take place, and understanding it can give you a real edge in the negotiation game. Buyer's market versus seller's market. The real estate market is like a seesaw with buyers on one side and sellers on the other. When the market is tilted in favor of the buyers, it's called a buyer's market. This means that there are more houses for sale than there are buyers, giving you, the buyer, a stronger position to negotiate. On the flip side, a seller's market is when there are more buyers competing for a limited number of properties. This scarcity of homes can give sellers an upper hand in negotiations, as they might receive multiple offers and have less incentive to come down on price. Negotiating in a buyer's market. In this scenario, there's less competition among buyers, and sellers are eager to make a deal. They might have their property listed for a while without any offers, which can make them more open to negotiations. This is the time to flex your negotiation muscles and make offers that reflect the current market conditions. Remember though, even in a buyer's market, sellers still have their limits. If you come in with an offer that's way below market value, they may not take you seriously. It's all about striking that balance between getting a good deal and being respectful of the seller's position. Negotiating in a seller's market. Let's shift gears to the seller's market. In this scenario, the demand for houses outweighs the supply, and sellers have more options. You might find yourself in a situation where you're competing with multiple buyers for the same property. So how does this negotiation work? While it might seem challenging, there are still strategies you can employ. First, make sure your offer is strong and competitive. This doesn't always mean offering more money. Sometimes it's about the terms and conditions you propose. Shortening the closing timeline, offering a larger earnest money deposit, or being flexible on the move-in date can all be appealing to the sellers. Before you jump into the negotiations, make sure to do your research on the current market conditions in your area. This information will empower you to make informed decisions, create strong negotiation strategies, and ultimately land you the best deal possible on your dream home. Your realtor should be able to provide data and insight into your local market conditions. They have the inside scoop and should be able to guide you on where to start. Number 2, listing duration. If a property's been on the market for an extended period of time, sellers may be more motivated to negotiate. This could indicate that they're struggling to find a buyer in their original asking price. When a property hits the market, it's like a grand opening. The first few weeks are crucial, as this is when the property garners the most attention. However, if weeks turn into months and the property is still on the market, the dynamics start to shift. Think about it from the seller's perspective. If a property has been listed for a considerable amount of time without much interest, doubt can start to creep in. They might be more open to negotiations, realizing that their initial asking price might not be aligned with the market's perception of value. As a buyer, this situation can work in your favor. A buyer's prolonged time on the market gives you the opportunity to position yourself as a serious and motivated buyer. Sellers might be more willing to engage in negotiations as they are likely seeking to finally close the deal. Let's talk strategy. When dealing with a property that's been listed for a while, your initial offer can reflect the listing's duration. By suggesting a price that aligns with the property's time on the market, you're sending a clear signal that you're informed about the property's history. However, be cautious not to make an offer that's too low, as this might alienate the seller. Remember, you're aiming for a win-win situation where both parties feel satisfied with the deal. Be respectful and back up your offer with market research and comparable sales in the area. Number 3, property condition. The overall condition of the property can impact negotiations. A property that requires repairs or updates can provide you with a golden opportunity to negotiate the price down. Think about it. If the roof needs replacing, the plumbing is outdated, or the kitchen is stuck in the 70s, these are all potential leverage points in your negotiation strategy. Property condition also impacts negotiations during the transaction. It's important to conduct a thorough inspection of the property. Hiring a professional inspector can help you uncover hidden issues that might not be immediately obvious. This information arms you with solid evidence to support your negotiation requests. Another approach is to negotiate repairs or credits from the seller. Instead of asking for a lower price, you could request that the seller addresses the necessary repairs before closing or provides you with a credit to cover the costs. This can be a win-win situation, as the seller gets to sell the property in a better condition and you get a property that meets your expectations. Strategies for successful negotiation. Let's discuss some strategies to keep in mind when negotiating the price of the house. Number 1, do your homework. Research comparable properties in the area to gauge the fair market value. This gives you a solid foundation for your negotiations. Number 2, be reasonable. Approach negotiations with a fair offer that reflects the property's condition and market value. An overly aggressive lowball offer could alienate the seller. Number 3, flexibility. While it's important to stick to your budget, being flexible with your terms can open up opportunities for compromise. Number 4, leverage inspections. If there's an inspection finding that highlights repairs needed, you can use these to negotiate a lower price or ask for repairs to be done before closing. Number 5, build rapport. Establishing a positive relationship with the seller can make them more inclined to work with you on price and other terms. To put things into perspective, let's go through a real-life example. I'm working with some buyers who just toured a home on its first day on the market. This house was listed for $750,000, but when we pulled the comparable sales for the area that the home is in, we couldn't find any sales with similar homes comparable in size and age that were priced that high. It was obvious that the home was overpriced and that the sellers may not be realistic with their expectations. Instead of submitting the offer, I contacted the listing agent on behalf of my buyers and talked through the scenario. Based on the comparable sales that I found, we would be coming in with an initial offer way under the listing price. Just as I suspected, the sellers were not willing to entertain the offer. But the listing agent understood and said she would contact me again to revisit it once it's been on the market for at least a month. At this point, time is not on our side. We'll see how the sellers are feeling down the road, especially if they still haven't received any offers. In my experience, negotiations can vary greatly depending on the specific circumstances. While some sellers might be firm on their asking price, many are open to reasonable negotiations, especially if they're motivated to sell quickly. It's all about finding the balance and understanding the market dynamics, along with asking questions to find out what's important to the other party. Why are they moving? What terms would they be looking for to ultimately sweeten the deal? Negotiating the price of a house can be an exciting yet nerve-wracking process. Remember that every situation is unique, and understanding the market conditions and property dynamics will help you make an informed decision. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I'd love to hear from you. You can call, text, or leave a comment down below. I work hard to stay connected. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join me for my next video. Thanks so much for watching.